and welcome to the first video in a mini series for Interim. You can see here it's titled Troll 90 Farming Analysis. What I'm doing in the background is a lot of running of trials 90, 100, 110 and 120. Since we've had changes to the drop rates, I am going back over the analysis that I have done in the past and recording a bit more information than I did previously. The purpose of the series isn't to say this is the trial that you should be farming at. It will be different for every single person. It will depend on how quickly you can clear a trial and what sort of items or drops you are looking for. So I am merely going to be presenting the information as I have see it, and you can then decide which trial would give you the best results per, say, minute of spent farming. I'm doing all the runs on Kindle Fire, which is mobile rather than on PC. I much prefer doing farming on mobile. So what I'm going to do is drop in a clip from trial 90 on the Kindle. I don't show the build in it. If anyone's seen some of my previous videos with my experienced farmer, her gear is seriously overpowered and over the top for experienced farming, but it makes her a useful character to do this analysis with. So she's on a Fire Lily build using Death from Above. There's no sound in the video because when I record on the Kindle I can't capture sound as well. If I do try and capture sound, it captures every screen tap, which just comes across as a massive loud thumping noise, and no one wants to hear that. So enjoy the silent clip that's about to come up. It's a typical Troll 90 farming run, and when you meet back here we shall go through the results. And welcome back. So what I'll do is pull up the first slide. So on this slide what we're looking at is the analysis from 150 runs of Troll 90. I've recorded here the type of drop, so epic, epic set, legendary and legendary set, the level of the item in each case and the total number that have been received. I don't think I need to talk too much on this page about these figures. If you want to look at them in more detail, feel free to pause the video. I think the only thing that sort of stands out most is that the overwhelming majority are falling in the epic and epic set columns, and that will be further confirmed on the next slide. So we can see here that our epic versus legendary drops, 72.9% of them are epics at Troll 90 and 27.1 are legendary. For those long-term players that have been used to seeing that as 100% legendary at 90, in fact it would have been 100% at trial 80, but obviously with the changes to drop rates, that's what I'm seeing at the moment. I do think there's the scope, and this isn't any scientific analysis, I think there's a scope for about a 2% error of margin of error at the moment. That's purely based on gut feel. I do find that on low volume runs, some of the outliers, if you get a good series of runs or one particularly brilliant set of 10 runs, it can really skew the figures a bit. So I've found in the past through this sort of analysis, once I'm around 400 to 450 runs in, then if I do get a eyebrow raising series of runs, it doesn't do anything to the overall percentages. So there's scope for these to change over time. I'm possibly a third of the way into this. I'm going to do at least 450, and then I'll see whether it'll be 500 or whether to go up to 600, depending on how much fun it is. I'm certainly getting a lot of experience as I do these. Overall percentages, epics, we've seen 35.8% are just regular epics, 37.1% are epic set items, 12% are legendary, and 15.1% are legendary sets. So that does show that we do get more set and unique items compared to just regular normal items at Troll 90. This looks very similar to how it used to be prior to the changes to drops. Obviously they were all legendary items back then. I think the split was closer to 50-50, but as I say, I think there's a margin of error yet to be ironed out due to only a low number of runs done. So those figures may come closer together over time, but that's certainly where we're sat at the moment. In terms of the level of items that are dropping, so we've had 450 drops from 150 runs. The majority are level 70 as we'd expect, and then it drops away quite rapidly, so that when we get down to something like level 76 and level 77, out of 150 runs, 450 drops. I've had 177, 176, and hopefully we'll see if I run, when we look at the results of Trolls 100, 110, 120, that these figures will go up a bit. Average item levels, epic 70.6, epic set 70.8, legendary 70.8, legendary set 70.9. The overall figure at the moment is 70.73 for all 450 items that have dropped. So what I have here is the salvage analysis. First of all, the essences. So the way that I do salvaging is run a troll 10 times, record everything that you've just seen before, and then salvage all. So there's 30 items being salvaged every time I go and do this. Don't really need to talk too much about the figures over here, just to say we've got lesser fire essence, regular essence of fire, greater fire, and then the same with water, air, shadow, earth. These figures over on the right are probably more interesting. So this 258, that is lesser essence of fire converted up into essence of fire. Add those two together, convert those up to greater essence of fire, and add our two figures together. So over 150 runs, 258 greater essence of fire, average of 17.2 for every 10 trolls run. Water 444 at an average of 29.6 per 10. 260 air at 17.3, 258 shadow at 17.2, and 270 earth at 18.0. So with the exception of water, everything else is pretty close in terms of the amounts that we get through salvaging, and nothing's changed. We still get far too much water and nothing to use it on. And finally, just other things that come out of our salvaging. So cured leather, I got 164 of those out of the 150 runs. That's 10.9 per 10 trials. Don't see an awful lot of enchanted leather. I've had 10 out of salvaging 450 items, so that's 0.7 per batch of 10 trials. Silk cloth isn't too bad at 1956 or 130.4 per 10. Marker Titans, certainly not going to struggle if you can farm Troll 90. 296 of those after 150 runs, so averaging 19.7 every 10 trials. Iron bars 516, 34.4 per 10 trials. Mithril 54, 3.6 per 10 trials. And finally Nightcloth 244, which come out at 16.3 per 10 trials. So that is what I have seen so far at Troll 90. Next video will be Troll 100, same sort of analysis, same breakdown of figures. I've got them all recorded on the rough raw data at the moment. I just need to crunch the figures together in order to put together these slides. If you've got any questions, comments, if you found the video useful, or you've got any suggestions, feel free to put them down in the comment section below, and I shall see you again next time. Thank you very much for watching.